The Dallas Cowboys have made a significant move to reinforce their offensive line by signing veteran lineman Andrew Wylie, a decision that signals the franchise's commitment to shoring up one of its most critical position groups ahead of the 2025 NFL season. Wylie, a versatile and experienced offensive lineman, brings a wealth of knowledge, toughness, and big game experience to a Dallas front that has recently undergone major changes, most notably with the departures of cornerstone players like Tyron Smith and Zach Martin. This signing isn't merely about plugging holes, it's about strategically adding a proven, battle-tested veteran who can contribute both as a starter and as a reliable swing option across multiple positions. Wylie has spent the last several seasons carving out a strong NFL career despite entering the league as an undrafted free agent in 2017 out of Eastern Michigan. He worked his way up from the practice squads of several teams before earning a long-term role with the Kansas City Chiefs, where he eventually became an integral part of one of the most dynamic offenses in NFL history. During his tenure in Kansas City, Wylie played a crucial role in protecting star quarterback Patrick Mahomes, even starting at right tackle in multiple playoff runs, including in Super Bowl 57, where his stellar performance helped the Chiefs secure a championship against a vaunted Philadelphia Eagles defensive line. His ability to step up in the biggest moments and hold his own against elite pass rushers showed not just his physical capability, but also his mental fortitude and commitment to team success. Now, in Dallas, Wylie brings that same work ethic and toughness to a Cowboys offensive line that has seen better days. Once considered one of the league's most dominant units, Dallas's offensive front has slowly declined due to injuries, age, and cap-related departures. With Tyron Smith now in New York and Zach Martin having retired, there's an urgent need for both leadership and depth, two qualities Wylie has in abundance. What makes Wylie such a valuable addition isn't just his championship pedigree, but his versatility. He has played both guard and tackle at the NFL level and is comfortable switching between sides of the line, which gives the Cowboys coaching staff an enormous amount of flexibility when game planning or responding to injuries. He has started over 70 games in his career and has logged time at every position except center, giving Dallas a Swiss Army knife presence in the trenches that they sorely needed. In terms of scheme fit, Wylie is accustomed to operating in high-octane offenses and up-tempo systems, having played under Andy Reid in Kansas City and Eric Bieniema in Washington. He understands blitz pickup, has decent mobility for a man of his size, and is a solid run blocker who brings physicality and aggression to the point of attack. He may not have the elite athleticism of some younger tackles, but he more than makes up for it with experience, technique, and the ability to understand complex protections and defensive disguises. Beyond the field, Wylie is also widely respected in locker rooms for his professionalism and leadership. Coaches have consistently praised his preparedness, attitude, and willingness to step in wherever needed without complaint. For a Cowboys team that is actively reshaping its identity post-McCarthy era, and trying to support quarterback Dak Prescott with better protection and run game support, adding a high-character player like Wylie can go a long way. He won't be the flashiest name on the roster, and he might not be guaranteed a starting spot out of training camp, but he dramatically raises the floor of this offensive line group. His presence will push younger players in camp and serve as an insurance policy in the event of injuries, something Dallas has been plagued by in recent years. And it's worth noting that players like Wylie are often undervalued until they're thrust into action mid-season and asked to anchor an offensive line with playoff implications on the line. Cowboys fans should remember the revolving door issues at tackle and guard over the last few seasons and recognize that adding someone like Wylie is a proactive, strategic move that speaks to the front office's understanding of how championship-caliber teams are built from the trenches out. Looking at his tape from Washington last year, Wylie continued to show solid technique and effort, especially in the run game. While his pass protection had moments of inconsistency, particularly against speed rushers, he generally held up well and avoided critical mistakes. He's known for playing with a mean streak, which is something that Dallas could benefit from, especially as they look to reinvigorate a run game that has lacked consistency since the departure of Ezekiel Elliott. New offensive coordinator, if one is in place or if the current staff is simply reshuffling duties, will have the option to use Wylie in a variety of packages, whether that's starting at right tackle, sliding inside to guard in jumbo sets, or even coming in as a sixth lineman in short yardage situations. The value here goes beyond just a starting role. It's about building layers of protection and flexibility into the roster. And speaking of protection, Dak Prescott, who has taken more than his fair share of hits over the last few seasons, will undoubtedly welcome the presence of a veteran who understands how to read a blitz, how to communicate pre-snap adjustments, and how to execute under pressure. Wylie brings that poise in spades. He's been in loud stadiums. He's handled the biggest moments in sports. He's not going to flinch when it's 3rd and long on the road in Philly or when Micah Parsons is lined up across from him in practice. This move also allows the Cowboys to approach the upcoming season with more clarity in terms of personnel deployment. With younger players like Matt Waletzko, Asim Richards, and TJ Bass still developing, Wylie acts as both mentor and measuring stick. He'll force these young guys to earn their snaps, which is exactly the kind of competition good teams foster. He might not be the long-term answer at any one spot, but he'll help bridge the gap between this current iteration of the offensive line and whatever it evolves into in the next 2 or 3 seasons. Moreover, from a salary cap standpoint, Wylie is likely being brought in on a team-friendly deal. He recently restructured his contract with Washington before being released, suggesting he understands where he stands in the league pecking order and is comfortable in a utility role on a contending team. That's the kind of self-aware, team-first attitude you want from your veterans. It also means Dallas retains financial flexibility to continue pursuing other needs, whether that's adding another cornerback, depth at linebacker, or even exploring trade options for a wide receiver or backup quarterback. Cowboys fans should also consider the psychological impact of a signing like this. After years of falling short in the playoffs and struggling with untimely injuries to key offensive linemen, the front office is sending a message: no more gambling with inexperience. No more hoping a late-round pick can hold up against the league's best edge rushers. With the NFC East shaping up to be as competitive as ever, especially with the Eagles still stacked and the Giants investing heavily in their front seven, every inch of protection, every second of time bought in the pocket matters. Wylie might not be the kind of signing that leads SportsCenter, but in December, when the Cowboys are fighting for a playoff spot or home field advantage, his presence could very well be the difference between a game-winning drive and another heartbreaking loss. In short, the addition of Andrew Wylie is a smart, calculated, and football-savvy move by a Cowboys front office that understands both the immediate needs and long-term realities of the NFL. This is the kind of move teams make when they're serious about making a deep postseason run, when they know that protecting the quarterback and controlling the line of scrimmage isn't optional, it's essential. Wylie brings experience, toughness, flexibility, and a championship mindset. He won't be a Pro Bowler, and he probably won't dominate the headlines, but if the Cowboys make it to where they want to go in 2025, don't be surprised if Wylie's name comes up as one of the underrated reasons why.